All right, guys. Last of Us, the season finale, right?
Which is bizarre. Like, why 7 episodes? It seems like an odd choice.
It is weird, but what did you guys think?
My first thing that was the one time somebody refuses a drink and the other person doesn't immediately assume they're pregnant, and then I said, well, because he did, he just waited until later to bring it up.
Yeah.
Because it's so crazy to me, because in real life, like, if you're like, I don't want to drink, somebody doesn't automatically just skip over everything and go, oh, you're fucking pregnant? Like,
yeah, I thought that too.
But every movie and show, like, oh, no, I don't want to drink tonight. Oh, my God, you're pregnant.
100%.
Yeah, I think it was like, he explained why it was a red flag this time, though, because of her injury. And then she was
it was funny. He goes,
a lot,
she's never turned down a drink ever. And I was like, whoa.
Making her sound like an alkie.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, it was good, but also, like, 5 out of 7 episodes were, like, build-up episodes. That seems so weird.
You know what bothers me is that they have Abby, they introduce Abby, and then have her kill Joel, and then they don't show her
The rest of the
at
season.
all. I know what they're doing. They're going to... Third season's going to be all Abby.
Right.
And make you like Abby, but I think that was a mistake not to make her... The people forgot at this point.
They've done it out of order a little bit, and it's kind of thrown me off a little bit now.
Well, yeah, that's what because I didn't play the game, so I had some questions. But I said Jesse still rules.
He does.
And then I said, either Ellie is ruthless or she's compassionate. Like, stop trying to make her so complex. Like, every situation, they're like, she's a ruthless murderer. And then, like, the next scene, they're like, she loves everybody.
I know.
No, she's ruthless.
No, that's what make interesting characters, though, because you think Tony Soprano's super complex because he's got good and bad, mostly bad qualities.
That's a very different scenario, though. Like,
it is. But
like,
I mean,
in this world, like,
not everyone's pure good or pure bad.
Yeah, for sure. But, like, I feel like every decision she makes, they're like, okay, this is where she's ruthless. No, she's so kind.
Yeah,
and then, like,
a couple things
because they realize that she's unlikable at this point, and they're like, you know what? Let's have her save this kid, and they'll like her again.
Yeah.
About this episode, a couple things bother me. Like, when they were talking, I don't remember her backtracking in the game at all about getting revenge, but when she said, like, she was talking to Dina, explaining the story, and Dina's like, we should just go home. And she's like, yeah. So she was, like, fine with it. Until she saw the...
Yeah, and then she immediately was like, let's go get her.
Yeah. That kind of bugged me that they had her kind of like be like, okay, we don't need to.
She's been a little bit of a bitchy cunt a lot this season.
She has.
I don't remember her going off the revenge trail at all. Maybe she did.
I don't remember that either.
I felt like their score in this episode was very good, and they, like, focused on it a lot. Like, there's a lot of very, like, loud... long sections of score, which was actually good. And I said, I know Ben's gonna love some of these stormy water shots.
Yeah, that was another thing that bothered me, is that the crash on, like, the beach was, like, so abrupt and pointless.
Well, that's what I had.
That scene,
it was random.
How much of falling out of the boat was, like, playable or watchable in the game, or was it?
I mean, you do encounter those people, and I think she gets caught by him at some point, but it's, like, not that abrupt. Like, they rushed everything in the end of this episode so quick.
No, it was ridiculous that she crashed there, and then the boat's perfectly fine on the shore, right?
Yeah, like, just skids up, and then she's just on shore next to it.
And then she got caught by them, and then what are the odds they're not going to kill her? They're going to say, oh, just leave her.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a gun there.
But dude,
with her gun.
And then she just runs back to the boat, and, let's get back to it.
Yeah, it was random.
That ridiculous. The little kid calling for her, like, crucifixion, disembowelment, sacrifice was so sick. Yeah, because she's like, look at the kid, because the kid saw her before, and she's like, tell him I'm not a wolf, and he just goes,
yeah.
And then the lady immediately is like, yep, kid's right, let's kill her.
So
why is the kid calling the shots?
And then she ran into 2 of the others, right?
Yeah, 2 of other Abby's crew, Owen and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then she killed him because he drew a gun on her.
Yeah, he drew a gun, but when she shot him, it went straight through him into the other girl.
And she was dying, but she was pregnant.
Yes.
And she was going to try and help her have the baby or deliver the baby.
Yeah. She didn't really try at all.
What you want me to do?
Well, she has no experience,
also,
so what is she going to do?
The Edmund Fitzgerald song was going through my head when she was in that boat alone.
Edmund Fitzgerald?
You don't know that song?
No, which one?
Look it up. You got to play it. A little bit of it in the clip. It's a song
if I heard it, I probably know.
About, like, I think Lake Superior, maybe. It's a Michigan song.
Let's hear it.
The ships that sink and I think it's Lake Superior. Because Lake
think
Superior,
it's on Spotify?
Yeah, for sure. Lake Superior is so cold that, like,
the wreck of Edmund Fitzgerald?
Yeah. Bodies don't float to the top because of how cold the water is. So it's a known thing if you crash your boat.
Let's listen to it, because if I might have to cut this part.
Yeah. if you crash your boat in Lake Superior, the bodies never float up because it's so cold. Dude, you guys have never heard this song?
Gordon
This
Lightfoot?
Yeah, this song rocks.
I've probably heard it. I definitely heard it, yeah. I definitely did not think of this while they were on the boat.
Right.
This song rocks. But then, yeah, I was like, both with one shot? Damn. But then when she's like, yeah, well, I don't know what to do, and she's like, cut deeper than you think, and I was like, that's not enough instructions.
It's not.
Just
Yeah.
deeper than you
For
think.
someone that's never delivered a baby.
But then, well, because she wanted her to cut her open,
Yeah.
like C-section.
Yeah.
But then,
She didn't care if she died.
but then, if Abby was so good or like whatever, she would have at least tried. She just was like, oh, she's dead, and then pulled down her shirt.
Ellie?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Which I
She-
mean, I get it, but also like if you're trying to redeem yourself or whatever, like you wouldn't at least cut her open to try.
I think she was so nervous.
She knew what to do even.
She was so nervous.
Where to even start?
I
Yeah.
mean,
And that's when
I understand that like that, but also like
Try something.
in a pinch, it's not that crazy, especially if it doesn't matter if
Yeah, she's
the
gonna
mom
die
is
anyway.
alive or not.
Right.
You just cut off that stomach and
Yeah.
you take out that baby.
Right. That's when Jesse and
Because
Tommy
even
arrived.
after she dies, the baby's gonna live for a little bit.
You get
like
your
a
ass out
minute.
there and you
It's true.
find that fucking
Yeah.
dog.
You're right.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. I told you Jesse still rocks, and I go, fuck me, right? Because he immediately throws her that door and is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
then-
That was
yeah.
shocking.
I said Abby should have been cast as Ellie, and then a jacked person as Abby.
Man,
Because when she's standing there, I was like, it's like it should be a mirror. Like she should be on this side.
if Ellie doesn't have enough reason to kill Abby, now that she's killed Jesse as well.
Yeah.
And, man, that's crazy, right?
And then I said, is that what the game is? Like, does Ellie die, and then you play the game as Abby at that point?
No, you play both of them.
Okay.
You
'cause
play
that-
them both, and then they intersect at the end.
Okay, because
and
that's
then
what they made it seem like. Is
They
like,
scissor
oh,
in the end.
they're like,
Yeah.
oh, Ellie's dead, so now you're just Abby's the main character now.
no, it's half and half basically, and then they intersect it,
So
and they
spoiler
come
alert,
together
she's
at the
not
end.
dead.
Well, yeah, I
she's-
figured they wouldn't cut like that if she was just dead.
Yeah.
But that's what they like make you think.
I thought overall it was the weakest episode of the season. My opinion, because
I
I
would
think
say-
they kind of rushed everything, and it kind of bothered me. How
I
they,
agree with
like,
that.
Um,
I'd
they
agree
traveled
with
like so far distances in like 2 seconds.
They did.
Like, Tommy was there, and then he was there, and then he was like.
I
And
feel like if I knew that
here's-
going in,
everything
like,
was just too easy for her. Like getting the boat,
Yeah. And they didn't cover the Tommy on the bridge sniping scene, which is awesome in the game. You
That's
go
what-
through all that.
Yeah.
I feel like if I would have played the games, I would have liked this episode less than I did.
Yeah.
But I feel like this to me was better than
It was more action.
the episode where you were like, I get a no emotion, like I give it a 6.5 or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
But I think to me this episode was better than that one.
I get
but
it.
those two are the least.
it was just a
And I
bit.
said it was like it's very good, like a very good show,
just a bit
but very
ridiculous in some
unfulfilling
some
at the same
aspects.
time. Like
Yeah.
the whole season
It's kind of a-
overall feels unfulfilling.
I
It was
Agreed.
just a bit ridiculous in some aspects.
But
Honestly,
I did hear somebody say that if you weren't stoked how this season went, you're not gonna like how the next season goes. It's
Well,
all
it's gonna
about
be
Abby.
all Abby, yeah. Which I'm fine with because Abby is a cool
I
arc.
think they should have inserted her more into this season instead of just letting Ellie's story
I wonder if
play out. And
they planned on it, but they just announced a season 4 to finish the story.
Yeah,
So maybe they
4
didn't
instead
know
of
it was going to
3.
be 4, so they were trying to like cram everything.
Because yeah, it was originally 3 and now it's 4.
yeah, because like the guy came out a couple weeks ago, the creator or whatever, and he said we're gonna need 4 seasons
Yeah.
now. Like you didn't know that writing
Yeah,
it.
we all knew that. Everybody knew that.
Yeah, what they're gonna air season 3. He's gonna say we're gonna need 5. We're it's
Another
ridiculous.
thing that's like
Yeah.
minor maybe, but really bugged me is when, you know how she was talking to Jesse after they got back, and he said like, "I know you'll burn down the world for me if I get caught,"
Yeah,
and she's like, "Yeah." Well, he said Tommy was over there, and she's like, "No, I'm going this way." Like, we'll go save Tommy.
Yeah.
Like, that's Joel's brother, and you're just gonna be like, you got him. Like, he's pinned down.
yeah. I think she was just so
I get it. but,
tunnel
like,
vision.
Supposedly she'll burn down the world for people she cares about. But
Yeah,
then
that's
she was
what
like,
I mean. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
I think she said Tommy's like she knew Tommy could handle his own like in any scenario. That's what she said.
I know she said that.
Yeah.
It just bothers me that
I know.
he said that in the end. I was like, would she
Yeah.
bail on Tommy immediately?
Yeah.
yeah, she does come off as a bit selfish.
Oh, that's her whole point.
But yeah, like even when
Yeah.
Jesse like is talking to her about Dina being pregnant, Jesse's not even being a dickhead. He's
No.
just like, I get it, but like and is upset, but not being mean. And she's like, "Oh, you're the fucking nicest guy in the world."
Right.
Why is she such a bitch? Sometimes
She really is.
Yeah, she only cares about her, and that's what he said.
Yep. But she's got a mission and she's going to fulfill it. So
Oh, or did she? I don't know.
you don't know. You don't know. But what do you guys think? You guys want to give a rating on this episode?
Go ahead.
6.5.
I gave it a 7.
-7.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's what I gave the other one. I think was 6.5, like the slower episode.
And then it ended with Abby. It said Seattle day 1, and we see her
inside the stadium. That was cool. How
Her
you
community's
get to see,
inside
like,
the stadium.
the little like plot of farmland and like all the little pieces of their like society. Just
Pretty
in that
cool.
stadium.
Yeah,
It looked cool.
So
it looked like Sim City.
it did. Yeah, it did. And so it basically tells us that now we're gonna see Abby's side of the story in Seattle. But yeah,
There might be less trolling next season because there won't be as much Ellie, so there won't see
way
the
less trolling
potato head on the screen all the time.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
hate her.
for sure.
It ruins the episode, the show for a lot of people. It doesn't bother me at all, really. But
It doesn't bother me while I'm watching the show at all.
yeah,
No,
it's
I
weird.
mean she's a good actress. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's our review of episode 7, guys. Go check out The Last of Us.
How long is it until the next season?
Probably like 27.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long time.
Yeah.
It was like 2 years, I think.
Yeah, 23. Yeah, it debuted in 23. So
Jesus.
yeah, so now we're 27, I'd bet. But yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, check that show out, guys. That's it, and we'll see you soon. Later.